Okay, lords, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to me personally, welcome back to everything which is beautiful and lovely and wonderful as per usual. I'm Nick Dutch. I work as a professional tarot reader and I've been doing so for rather a long time now. What this channel has started to become about is quite regular tarot readings. What I was doing previously was 3 video uploads a day, and I don't think everyone was totally happy with that. So I'm going to try and bring it down to maybe 1 video a day for the standard regular readings, and then to bring forward another set of videos for membership and for Patreon. I haven't yet created the videos for memberships and for Patreon, but they will be done. What I want to do today is a bit of an experiment, because one of my wonderful subscribers, you know who you are, has suggested that what I should be doing is tarot readings connected to or based on the astrological signs, and therefore to do something like a forecast or a prophecy for the coming week, let's say, for all the various astrological signs such as Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces. The question is that what you're looking for? Is that what you would like to have from a regular tarot reading channel? Is that what you would like to have? Do you want me to carry on reverting back to doing runestones? Do you need me? I mean, the problem is that I've got over 10,000 subscribers, and in which only between 30 and 100 people actually watch a video. Why is that? Because I've covered too many subjects. And that's become a problem, quite a big problem actually. So I do have to try and focus this down, but there's still some things which I want to do just for fun anyway, which you will still see occurring here, because otherwise I'll get bored. And if I'm not doing something that's a bit fun and a bit cheeky once in a while, then you ain't going to carry on watching, because you'll want to have a touch of variety thrown in. So I'm trying to draw this fine line. Today I'm going to be doing for you very short card readings for the 12 houses of the zodiac. So we're blending 2 different things. By history, I am not an astrologer. Okay, I'm not a palm reader. It's quite funny when I go to pubs and people ask me, what do you do for a living? And I say I'm a fortune teller, I'm a card reader, I'm a tarot reader. And the first thing they do is give me their palm when I've told them that I read cards. That is different to that, okay? Different discipline, different symbology, different ideas, different understandings. I know people who are astrologers and they know what they're talking about. I myself work on an intuitive level, using a combination between symbols and ideas and bringing them together as best as I can in order to give you the best possible interpretation based upon intuition, any visions, ideas and thoughts and feelings which occur to my mind during the reading exercise. That's what I do, really. Let's have a quick look and see what's coming on through for all of you today. Remember, of course, I am available for regular phone call readings and internet chat readings, and also SMS chat readings as well, which I do via the Fortunica app. Okay, so you can catch me on keen.com, catch me on The Circle, occasionally catch me on kumar.co.uk and kumar.com. But to the most part you will find me on keen.com, because that's the central place where I tend to do my work, and under the name of Nick Dutch, all one word with a capital N and a capital D. You can find my links on the About Me section. If you click on my channel name, go to the About section, there's a load of stuff there which you can click on if you want to. And of course, if you just want to support this channel and keep me making content, then you can do so through using the wonderful sort of heart-shaped button down below, which is called the Super Thanks button. But that's only if you want to and only if you can afford it. Don't make yourself poor on my account, okay? You've got your own council tax, electric, gas, water, TV license and everything else to pay, so I'm very sensitive to that. But of course, I need to work and make a living too. And that involves video creation, a little bit of ad revenue, which is not great, and what I do for a living. Okay, so Aries, 3 cards, here we go. You've got Princess of Discs, you've got the Lust card reverse. I still don't know why they would bother to call it Lust. Okay, when it should be more a question of greed and desire and like things expressed in a different way and not using the word lust. But either way, it's come out as a major arcana card, and it's finally finished off with the wonderful Seven of Staves, talking about pride and valor and also a forward level direction. This is curious because your Princess of Discs is very much a character which is on top of her life, in charge of her existence and surroundings, and keeping everybody together, trying to make sure everyone's getting on, and also a character who is looking after the material survival and prosperity, making sure you've, just like your mother would make sure you've got your wallet, your handkerchief, your keys, whatever, when you go off to school or college or whatever. That kind of thing. Looking after, protective, nurturing, making sure everything is in the right place, sorted, sorted in your life. That's a good thing for you Aries out there. But there's a slight feeling of dissatisfaction, because otherwise you wouldn't have a card suggesting desire and things are kind of like not quite right. It's reversed. And when it's reversed, there's something different going on there. There's a slight twist or kink, so to speak, to the original message. The message is not necessarily reversed, but it's asking us to ask more questions as to what's going on there. And the fact you've got the Seven of Staves beside it is suggesting to me that you are out of kilter. All right? Maybe this is what you want to perceive yourself as. All right? This is your vision of being that person who's got everything sorted out, you're on top of things, you're fine, but there is something missing. You're not feeling satisfied inside. Are you still struggling with or fighting previous arguments which are inside you and have been inside you for a long time? Are you struggling with the way in which your life has turned out? What is it which is actually disturbing you at the moment or making you feel that slightly bit irritable inside? Maybe you got tension across your shoulders and because like you're feeling stressed. All right? These things should be a spur to your side for the purposes of creating change. The reason I say that is because this one here, the Seven of Staves, is very, very, very optimistic. But just like that old song goes, war is over if you want it. All right? Change will come for you if you want it too. So it's worthwhile using this time, you Aries people out there, to sit down and work out why it is you're feeling off kilter, why it is you're feeling not very with the world and not very happy. All right? And then go into some analysis about that, and then maybe there can be some kind of change and opportunity for progression. Okay? So look at your discomforts and learn from it through your contemplation and introspection. Personally, I'm a very active user of mindfulness apps, and I find that going into meditation can be really helpful in order to just look more creatively at all the problems that's going on with me. Now, let's have a look at the second house, which is Taurus. Here we go. For all of you bulls out there, what are your 3 cards going to be about? Here we go. Here's your deck, all nice and thoroughly shuffled, or reasonably thoroughly shuffled, but shuffled enough for me to get like, that extra bit of something coming on through. Again, 3 cards. Why 3 cards? Well, because it is simple and sufficiently complicated. All right? 1 card can give you some ideas, but it won't necessarily put things in context. 3 cards, on the other hand, provides much more in-depth chaos, so to speak. All right? Specifically vague, but there's something good about 3. I don't quite know what it is, but 3 is a good number when it comes to cards. All right. Interesting that your astrological sign is Taurus, because that's often, that's the bull, that's the wild divine power of the Ur symbol within the rune set. But what have you got here? All right, a craving for peace, a craving to get on and get by and to be calm, chill out, relax, that cooling balm on your forehead after a fever, that sense of like, we got to get something sorted out that's going to work in life and actually make people happy. That's come out very, very strongly straight out from the top. Then what battles are you going through? Why do I say battles? Because we've got the Charioteer there, coming out second. The Charioteer is speaking about challenges of a very real, visible nature, but it's also a prophecy about a victory which is going to happen. It's going to be very exciting. But you're not there yet, because it looks like you've got to diplomatically get the peace in place first, get all your ducks in a row first, get people in agreement first, prior to moving on to the next stage of having that battle, having that fight, that challenge, getting it over, getting it done, getting your teeth into it, and making sure you can go out and get the right results. All right? So you can get yourself motivated and all G'd up on the condition that everyone else is in agreement. Because what you can't do is become like the grand emperor of the universe and tell people precisely what they should be doing, how they should be doing it. You do that, you do that, you do that. No. This is different. This is based upon the awareness of different people and different mentalities and trying your hardest to diplomatically bring them into agreement. So it's got to satisfy their needs and your needs at the same time, and then there can be the next level of action. Does that make sense to you, Taurus people? I don't know, but if it does make sense to you, then leave a comment in the comment section, because that's what it's there for, okay? Every single video I do is a market research exercise, and I'm asking you to be, well, no matter what your astrological sign, okay, to be honest with me about what your thoughts are with what I'm doing here, always. Right, now, Gemini, on the other hand, the twins. People say funny things about Geminis, don't they? Most of which I think are actually untrue. But there's good things about the Gemini, and the fact that you can learn to see things in different ways, some people say, because you've got more, as it were, voices inside your mind. You've got this, the combination of forces going on with you, and maybe you can actually learn from some of them, and maybe you need to keep others of them quiet inside yourself. Maybe as a Gemini you find your life difficult to manage and run because of all of the ideas that goes through you. You're a very creative individual, but you've got to settle down. You've got to reach calm and focus and peace and balance. Let's see what your cards say, okay? Right. Interesting. The Justice card, which in this particular deck is labelled as Adjustment, alright, is curious. Because it can be talking about adjusting to the circumstances, adjusting to the situation, adjusting to what is really important, and also moving away from things which aren't important. It's a sense of repositioning your life. It's a sense of repositioning your mind, your thoughts, your feelings and emotions, the way you are as a person, and making that suitable for the environment, and also doing things in the environment around you, your social environment, work environment, relationship environment, all this stuff, so that things can move further forward. Very similar in meaning to what we had for the Tauruses out there, but not quite. Not quite, because it's a question of moving things up so that everything becomes well adjusted, and you can therefore live, as it were, in that in this circle of perfection. Okay, a goal of yours is to have everything sorted out in your life: health, money, work, family, image, appearance, reputation, property, presence of mind, skill development for the future, the whole lot in place. You can't do too much at once, though. I think you want to, if you're, if you've got that Gemini mentality that I think is there. Okay, with lots of different things going on with you, because you want everything done all at once, but you've got too much to do. It's like if you were to start a cleaning job, for instance, and you move into this house which is a complete wreck and you don't know where to start. Sometimes maybe you get that feeling when dealing with some of the things you've got to deal with, and it's not doing you all that much good. Okay, so you can't put too much pressure on yourself, and you have to do things one thing at a time to reach your goal. But despite the fact the cards have shuffled pretty thoroughly, we've again got the sign coming out there, the Two of Swords, talking about bringing about peace and tranquility. I think a lot of the things you're going through at the moment is making you a bit hyper-emotional. Alright, so it's like you're very much up here. Okay, you can't be like grounded in the present, you can't be grounded in the moments. Not a bad thing, because from that like up there kind of like space, that's where great creative ideas can come from. But it can also be where you end up becoming a bit of a neurotic mess, really. You just need breathe. Take it easy. You'll get your results, but it's a journey to get there. Does that make sense? I don't know if it does or not. The comment section is there for you. Now, Cancerians, my sign, I've got a great affinity with other forms of Cancerians. They're wonderful people. At least I think so, because I am one. All right. The Cancer symbol, the crab, is very much to do with all of that lunar sensitivity, that sort of like being aware but not being able to vocalize necessarily what you're aware of. It's like when you go into a crowded room and you can almost feel everyone's thoughts going on. It's a crazy experience. But, that's what it's like for me. And the Cancerians are usually very, very good at doing what I do for a living. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm there. Who knows? Your 3 cards, Cancerians. Here we go. Right, well, what we got here is actually quite a laugh in its own complex way. All right, because a lot of these readings are coming out with that blend of the positive and the negative. Life is a checkerboard. Life is like a chessboard. You carry on moving across it, but you come across your white squares and your black squares, if you know what I mean. Right, the first thing which you can seem to be aware of, according to what this reading is suggesting, is strife and struggle. But this is also like a very mercurial symbol. The colours, the use of the yellow, the use of the blue, these things mix together to create that perfect, how shall I describe it? It's a perfect mercurial mix. These are the colours, symbolism and coding of that mercurial power, which is healing, which is contemplative. Healing in terms of the stimulation of the mind and the mind having victory over all. You're an intellectual person. You're stimulated not necessarily specifically by books, but by what the books contain and how they make you think and feel when you're going through your journey. Right, also you Cancerians, we've got another one for you there, which is the reversed Emperor. Ooh. That one is a very, very complicated, nuanced symbol. Alright, as I said before, if it's reversed, the meaning is twisted somehow. It's kinked, it's contorted, it's not quite a pure, simple, singular message. It's not like that. But the Emperor speaks about the divinity, your connection to your higher power. It speaks about an issue related to faith and faith identity. It's an issue related to your identity with other people and an issue related to how you are overcoming challenges in order to do rather well for yourself. You want to do well for yourself, you're very driven, but you're coming across so much in terms of confusion, complexity, not quite knowing what to do. Maybe you've picked up lots of confusing messages here and there and they're all kind of coming at you from all different angles psychologically, and you need to put some of those aside, which will be a process of growth in order for you to have the clarity of thought that you desire. You are an intellectual individual, and yes, we've got some signs there associated with victory and with a sense of being driven, and here comes the cat who's just going to tell me that I shouldn't be making a video and I should be either feeding him or stroking him or somehow catering for him. Never work with children and animals. Okay. But my feeling for you there, Cancerians, is calm down, take a breath, remember to breathe. You will reach your success and achievement, definitely. But it's also a question of learning how to be a bit more focused and to remove some of the negative, confusing energy which is around you at this present point in time in your life. Alright? It's a process. You've got a lot of tasks to get done. Now we got Leo, which is the lion. And what on earth are we going to get with the lion? Or maybe it's just because we're about to do Leo that this little lion under the table here decided to come along. Could be. Yeah, I'm talking about your relatives now, mates. Oh dear. Right, okay. Leo, 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 Leo. Again, as I've said before, if you like the format of this video, let me know in the comments section. If you struggle with it, let me know in the comments section. If you want me to go back to what I've done before, let me know. I mean, I'll read all the comments, but I won't necessarily act on every single one of them. Okay, you, Leo. Woohoo. Love, 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 and more love. What I'm picking up from this particular reading, it's a 3-card reading, as before. Nice and simple. Don't know whether you can see that there, but either way. Your first card, the Ace of Cups reversed. Let me just quickly cater for the thing which needs to be catered for. Here we go. So, your first card there, Ace of Cups. As I said, it came out reversed in my reading. I just turned it that way up so that you could see it. It actually comes out that way up. So, that does deal with romantic love. It also deals with issues of conviviality and making an oath. But it's come out backwards. It's like something you've promised for yourself isn't quite coming to fruition. There's ways in which you're thinking about what you should have done by now, what you should be able to achieve by now. Alright, there's just this feeling of desires in one particular direction, but your circumstances are not in that particular direction. So it's causing you maybe a bit of anxiety, a bit of grief, a bit of, oh my God, how am I going to make this work and sort this thing out for me, for you, for everyone else, and just to be the right kind of person. I know that we're in an era now where there's anxiety left, right and centre. This is, we've done COVID, we're now doing cost of living crisis, we're now doing global thermonuclear war thanks to Ukraine, or whatever is going on. So we can all understand that you're going to be in a state of anxiety and you've got things to achieve, but I think this is more to do with like the immediate, the down to earth. This is more to do with your life today. This is more to do with your friendship connections, your relationship connections, your family connections, your work. Especially the energy of work is coming out here, because your second sign here, all right? No idea whether you can see that on this camera or not. I don't have the functionality to be able to see what you can see with this camera anyway. But that particular card, very much down to earth, Queen of Discs, very much an authoritative character. Alright? But again, it came out reversed. Why did it come out reversed? Not because you're not authoritative, not because you're not going to become authoritative, but because there's just something niggling. It feels, energetically speaking, it feels like a thorn in my side. It feels like there's something irritating in your life, something which needs to be pulled out, removed, got rid of, a change so that you can then start to think about the future. But is it a question of removing it, or is it more a question of getting it to work for you? Alright? Your Nine of Staves there, personal strength. Definitely personal strength for you, Leos. But also this sense of accepting that there's people out there that you can't get on with, you aren't going to get on with, but they can still be useful to you. So you have to maintain a conviviality with those who are complicated during this transition you're going through in order to lay down the foundation for the next stage of your life. I think that might make some sense to you. I don't know, but you do. Let me know in the comment section. After the Leos, we got the Virgos, the pure, the wonderful, it's the Virgos. Here we go. Come on, you little Virgos. What's going to happen with you guys today? Let's have a quick look. Virgos are great people. They don't walk alone, but they walk with the desire to bring love into the world. They are purity of thought and feeling. Not naive, but still with purity of thought and feeling. Right. A sense of overcoming failure, a sense of working through challenges, but also very much to do with working out how you mesh with the rest of the world. I often see this, your middle card there, your Three of Discs, as being like cogwheels. Cogwheels, cogwheels, cogwheels. And what do? If even the smallest is missing from the mechanism ceases to function. You have importance. You are important. You don't always know it. But you're part of a sea of ideas, maybe through your hobbies, maybe through your interests, maybe through the people that you connect with. Okay? Possibly due to work, but maybe not. But you're still part of an ecosystem. And you need to have some more pride in what you do. Okay? Because it's like I'm looking at your reading and I'm seeing signs of, oh my God, I haven't achieved this, that and the other. Oh my word, I'm not quite there yet. I mean, I'm feeling frustrated, I'm feeling uncomfortable. Don't be. Alright? Your time will come. Your time will definitely come. And any failure we got here, any fear of failure, because that's what it's talking about, it's not real failure, it's more a question of fear of failure. Maybe you've got a job interview coming up. Maybe you're concerned about how to get through that. Okay? Don't be worried. You have skills, you have knowledge, you have the ability, you know what you fit into, you know what you are when it comes to work and social life. So what are you worried about? Okay? Think about the future and think about making yourself fit for that. Your Princess of Cups shows your sensitivity, it's reversed, so that means it's a question of there is a time to accept and listen to your sensitivity, and there's also a time to put that aside, just for the moment, and carry on doing your tasks. Okay? Focus on all the things you need to get done. Right, so now we're on to the Libra, the balance, the scales. What is going to come out for you today, Mr. and Mrs. Libra? Mr. and Mrs. he, she, it, or they, Libra. Depending upon how you identify, okay? I'm not going to judge. Cool, I did meet an unpleasant person recently who really didn't understand all of this new understanding we got about gender and identity. Oh dear, some of the things he said was really shocking. Anyway, Libras, here you go. Right. Power, strength, and focus. Maybe, how should I put this? Right, when I'm looking at your reading, Libra, what I've got here is a sense of a feeling of being tied into something, tied into an agreement, tied into a complexity, tied into a social interaction, tied into something which is holding you back. And you are feeling negative because you've got this sense of being controlled, being influenced, having things getting in your way. It's not a comfortable feeling. Why do I say that? Because I've got the friendly devil card, which is not a bad sign. Okay, it does speak about some character negatives such as addiction and bad behaviors and trying to overcome things which bring you into dark environments. Okay, and so maybe you Libras need to think about who it is you're hanging out with and why you're hanging out with them, and does that actually make sense taking into account who you really are. Remember those. Remember that impossible phrase. Right, that impossible phrase at the top of the Delphic Oracle, man, know thyself. Okay? You've got to know what you are when it comes to your family, your friendships, your relationships. What are you in your relationships is different to what you are in your family. You need to have a real intellectual breakdown and analysis of this, so you can then work out. Okay, everybody, before my camera cut out, I was working with the Libras. We were doing a Libra reading, and that was coming out okay. It was mainly talking about your sense of identity, your sense of who you are when it comes to your work, your family, and trying to get all these things right and trying to break all these things down. The general message I would give you, Libras, is that things are essentially going to be okay, but think things through. Now, we're going to go on to the Scorpios now and see what we've got coming out there. Here we go. Right. Okay, 3 cards for you Scorpios. 1, 2, 3. Wonderful, okay. Sense of power and passion and direction, and genuinely trying to bring about an environment of change in your life path. So where you are, Scorpios, is that you're trying to achieve power, you're trying to achieve strength, you're trying to achieve change and to make things work for you in the right way. The Death card reverse shows that you want your entire life like turned around, okay, everything. But I think you're looking at this from the point of view of healing, from the point of view of like bringing about more like wellness of mind, wellness of character, wellness of being, and bringing all these things into your life properly. And then we've got these other signs associated with power and passion coming out there. Knight of Wands, very much to do with focus towards a particular goal. All right, trying to put your willpower, your energy, your direction, and your skill set, everything you've got into that one particular direction, but also doing it with a certain quantity of heart and wisdom. Both the Knight and the Queen of Wands, obviously fire symbols, the way it's interpreted in this deck, okay? But also fire coming out with a sense of both the determined and the robust and the singular, as well as compassion and understanding wrapping itself around you. So the end result is not you being intense. The end result is you being able to achieve without negativity, and also seeing things in a rational, logical, structured way, so it is one day at a time, one second at a time, one thing at a time, okay? So your Scorpio's got lots to look forward to in general, but it's also a question of conditionally looking at how you're growing within your life experience, because all of us want to move forward, all right? All of us want to move forward in our life. It's just a question of how and in what way that will make other people happy too. Now, the Capricorns, here we go. Right. 3 cards for your Capricorns. 1, 2, 3. Financial gain coming out very, very strongly. Also with a sense of knowing what your choices really are rather than what you think they are. Does that make any sense? Sometimes we can like think that everything's got to go one particular way. I know how it's going to work. I know the solution to all my problems. But then with a bit more time and a bit more reading and a bit more learning, you realize, there's other solutions I could be putting into this as well. All right, so if you stay with that one particular method, it's not going to get you to where you want to go because it's not based upon a complete picture. So you've got your vision, You now need your bigger picture so that you can make more right decisions and get more nutrition, so to speak, into your life path itself, which I think it will be like a really, really good thing for you to achieve for yourself. It would be great. But in a balanced, in an understanding, in a very sort of like clear-minded way. Also, the sense of like your own like sovereignty over your life coming out very strongly there with the Ace of Wands, but also slightly conditional as well. It did come out reversed in my reading, so it came out that way up, which is good, but it also says there's something adjusting the meaning. You can have your sovereignty, but not at the expense of others. Does that make sense? All right? You can have your sovereignty over your life, but not at the expense of others, even if they're terrible people. All right? So when you're doing all your meditations or whatever, then think about how you're actually moving your life further forward. So that was the Scorpios. Was that the Scorpios or the Sagittarians? I can't remember now. I'm losing track. Anyway, we'll do another quick reading for Sagittarians prior to the Capricorns, Aquarians, and Pisces. Sagittarians, warmth and love with a sense of focusing in on the material. So is it possible to be driven towards career success as well as to have compassion? I think so. All right? Driven towards success and achievement as well as to have compassion and empathy and generosity of spirit. Because generosity of spirit and generosity monetarily are two different things, but we do have to balance both of those. Maybe you think too much in terms of money. Maybe you think too much in terms of how much things cost, or if something's going to be financially detrimental to myself, rather than thinking about how my conduct is helping other people. All right? What are you connected to? What are you involved with? Who are you involved with who can, or what can you get involved with which could generate more emotional generosity for the future? Who knows? Right, Capricorns. Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. 1, 2, 3. Right. Now this one is, again, a very conditional reading. You're very much driven by your own intelligence, your own knowledge, your own wisdom. You're very proud of what you know. The card reading is coming out with a bit of a message to think carefully about the sources of your knowledge and whether they are necessarily accurate and appropriate to you. The first card is problems bringing about defeat. So maybe you're not quite as happy about where your life has gone, and there are still forces around you which is still not allowing you to come into yourself. But with the development of emotional generosity, you can then speak to those people in an appropriate way so that you can still live your life appropriately and get the results that you want. The Charioteer does speak about victory, it often does, but it's kind of like the gratification will come, but it's not there yet. Followed by the reversed Hermit, which talks about you still being connected to other people, but still needing to work upon what is important for you right now. And having your mind adjusted so that you can be really, really balanced with it. Okay? Complex emotionally and intellectually, especially if you're struggling at the moment, but still achievable. Right. Aquarians, the people of the water carrying. And once again, the pussy is pouring up my leg, and I will give you a quick look at the pussy because everyone loves pussy. Yes. Although why he's quite so demanding, I don't know. We want to do an Aquarian reading. Yes, we do. We want to do an Aquarian reading. Do you want to do an Aquarian reading? Come on. Okay, I'll do my reading with a cat on my lap then. Right. It's Bring Your Cat to Work Day. Right, okay. Aquarian, Aquarian, Aquarian. Here we go. And we've got some water signs associated with it coming out very, 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 very strongly indeed. Tainted with a little bit of earth, but that's a good thing. Alright, because you're not just one thing, you're a complex character. You've got a lot of positive emotionality going on with you, a lot of personal strength going on with you. And also you're someone who, you spend a lot of your time being reactive rather than proactive. But that was out of necessity because there was lots of storms in your life at the time. Lots of things that was holding you back and getting in your way. But my card reading speaks about your change of focus of attention onto that which is much more appropriate, but also loving too. Alright? I mean, my readings don't just speak about being driven. It also speaks about how you're thinking, how you're feeling. And it's speaking about developing a clear-minded understanding, just like in that Pixar movie, which was, what's it called, Inside Out? Which is all about the psychology within a person. And sometimes you realize that even some negative emotions like sadness can actually have a really powerful effect for your survival sometimes. You can't always see it, but it's there. Alright, and of course your wonderful Prince of Discs reversed. That's all very much to do with where are you going with this now? Alright, where are you going? I mean, have you got yourself caught up in so many strong things, strong opinions, strong values and all the rest of that? You've lost sight of what's really important to you and to your family and to your friends. Have you? You yourself personally are not going to make the world follow your design, but people will follow your example if you set a good enough one. And that's part of the reading for you Aquarians. And finally, ye olde Pisces. Pisces are great. I love the Pisces. Alright. Not just because I've got a cat who likes fish, alright, but because Pisces are great. Well, you're all great, everyone's great. We're all here for the same reason, to live, learn and go through this incarnation. Right, there we go. 10 of Staves. Gaining learning. And gaining learning from very difficult situations is what the reading is talking about there. Then you've been through enough difficult situations, but you haven't been given the right environments for you to be able to settle down, think and contemplate and get your thoughts right. Okay, it just feels to me that, you know, you Pisces people at the moment, maybe there's forces around you which is like forcing you to learn how to survive better, forcing you to learn how to be a better quality of individual with all of your skills and your knowledge in place. Then after that, we got the sense of calm, tranquil, loving energy, a romantic prophecy, yes, but also a romantic prophecy which appears to be in keeping with your ways of dealing with things. So suitability is going to be important when it comes to your next relationship. And finally, other people recognizing what kind of a wonderful, loving person you are. Why is it reversed? It's not because it's bad, okay? It's not bad when it's reversed. It's actually quite good. Because instead of the message being quite so direct and singular, it shows that you are thinking things through so that you end up doing what's right for the circumstances. Does that make sense? I don't know. But you do, the comment section is there for it. And that is my list of readings for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something from it and it's given you something to uplift yourself, make you think carefully about the future. I don't know. Alright? But don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, favourite, share, click the bell because all that stuff is nice. And I will definitely look forward to speaking to you very, very, very soon with one variety of video or another. Okay? Still trying to work out how to run this channel, but on the other hand, you'll still see me on it. And if you like me, then you'll like to see anything I put out anyway, won't you? Of course you would. Of course you would. And we'll speak to you again shortly.